At the weekend I went to a party, and one of the people attending was a guy I know called Josh, and he's the drummer in a rock band. And he lives in Northern Ireland, but he'd flown in because that's how fucking rock and roll the people I know are. And although he lives in Northern Ireland, he's English, and part of his job means he has to go to the Republic of Ireland. And if you're not from this neck of the woods, the North of Ireland and the Republic of Ireland are two different countries. And he said that whenever he goes down to the Republic, as soon as people realise he's English, they'll ask him, how's it going with Brexit? Because obviously he knows. I mean, it's a well-known fact. If you want to know the innermost workings of the Palace of Westminster, ask a fucking drummer. But I've got sympathy with this because when I was on holiday in Italy, I was getting asked the same things as well. I think it's just having an English accent. So if you're from outside the UK and you want to know what's happening with Brexit, on behalf of the British public, I can confidently say I've got no fucking idea. No one has. 2 years of this endless fucking pantomime of the government doing bad negotiations and the other opposition parties just scoring points. Although I will say, I fully believe if the Tories were in opposition, they'd be doing exactly the fucking same. But it turns out even the people who are meant to know about this shit don't. Because on Saturday morning, the Labour Party, because I live in a Labour constituency, and I want to stress this video isn't about knocking Labour. I would have done exactly the same if any other political party had turned up. And to their credit, I've never seen political activists knocking on doors when there wasn't the run-up to an election. But to their detriment, I've lived in that house 11 fucking years and no one's knocked on the door before, so they're not that bothered about my opinions. But this chap from the Labour Party introduced himself and asked, do you have any concerns? I said, yes, Brexit. So he then started what I imagine was a memorised speech about, well, you see, Theresa May has done this and Theresa May has done that. And I heard him out. And I said, that's all well and good, but I want to know what you, in the Labour Party, are going to do to help this Brexit transitional period. And he looked a bit off guard and then said, well, the Prime Minister, and then basically started the exact same speech. So I cut him off. And this seemed to upset him, that he regrouped and, well, are there any local issues you're concerned about? And I said, yes, the amount of bloody drug addicts we've got in the city centre in the last 6 months. And his response was, well, nationally, you see, the thing with drugs. And started again, and I had to cut him off and said, you've asked me about local issues, why are you now making it about national issues? And this is how this conversation went on for about 10 fucking minutes. Everything I asked, he would either divert away from it or answer with a completely unconnected fucking answer. So after 10 minutes, I was getting very agitated, and I think he could pick up on this, so we switched to talking about terrorism. Because I guess that's a safe topic. And I will confess what I did next was just mudslinging and out of order and the sort of thing that the far right would do. But I'll also say, if anyone from any other political party had been winding me up like that, I would have resorted to the same tactics. Because this chap said about terrorism, and I then stopped him and said, excuse me, your leader, Jeremy Corbyn, did he not attend the funeral of 8 IRA terrorists who'd been shot by the SAS? And his face was a fucking picture, because suddenly it dawned on him that this bloke with a beard and tattoos is more switched on than he'd given me credit for. So when he stood there, opening and shutting his mouth, I put some more dirt in. Said, I'm sure Jeremy has openly supported Hamas, and the Momentum part of the Labour Party has always been accused of anti-Semitism. And it took him a moment, and his answer surprised him, but nowhere near as much as it fucking surprised me. Because he went, yeah, I think we probably need a new leader. What the fuck? You've been talking to a fat dickhead for a quarter of an hour and decide that you need to overthrow the leader of your fucking party. This is what politics is like in Britain at the minute. It's a fucking shambles. Because if you're not up to date with Brexit, this is how it's going. The Conservative Party are trying to negotiate it. The Tories were weakened in the last general election and to remain in power had to team up with the DUP, and they appear to be Northern Ireland's finest fucking lunatics. The opposition are the Labour Party, who lost the last general election, but because they didn't lose it by as much as they thought they would, they've still got the same leader. What a fucking charade! We're worried about leaving Europe. I'm worried that fucking Europe hasn't yet tried to kick us out. We're a fucking laughingstock, but at least it could be worse. If Donald Trump was the Prime Minister, leaving Europe, he'd be trying to build a wall across the English Channel and blaming the French every time it fucking sank.